As is typical for Louisiana weather, the humidity was a clear indication that the state would be experiencing yet another hot summer. I picked up the key fob to my rental after I landed and jogged to the parking lot. I drove to my hotel, ensuring no one was following. I arrived at the Grandeur Heights Hotel, near the Louis Armstrong Global Airport, and checked in at the front desk. The receptionist smiled broadly and handed me the key card to the room. I took the elevator up and entered the room. I was greeted by the cool air conditioning, which was a welcome relief from the heat outside. It was a tastefully decorated, spacious suite with large windows on 3 sides, a king-size bed, small kitchen, and dining table in the center. There was a desk and a comfortable office chair. There was another leather chair in the corner near the door. A sparkling clean in-suite bathroom with a tub and Egyptian cotton towels and robes set off the luxurious feel of the room. It was the perfect 4-star relaxing ambiance before the arduous task ahead. I took a quick shower and changed into a fresh suit before heading down to the lobby. By the time Nick and Cliff showed up an hour later, I had downed at least 7 cups of coffee and was keyed up on caffeine. We had pulled off clandestine operations before to protect clients and witnesses, but this one was particularly tricky, so I was nervous. Would this witness cooperate and tell us the truth? The trust had unlimited resources and they could be watching Harvey. Harvey himself could be a trap of some sort, but we needed to look at every possible angle of this case, and Ramos Harvey was a crucial angle to investigate. A miserable-looking man, looking 10 years older than he really was, walked in between my 2 investigators. He glanced over his shoulder with every step. The 3 walked past me in the lobby. Cliff picked up the key to the room from the front desk. By this time, an older man had replaced the beautiful brown-skinned young lady who had checked me in an hour earlier. Cliff nodded almost imperceptibly in my direction as the 3 of them walked to the elevators. I waited a few minutes, then called an elevator, but I didn't wait for it. Instead, I took the stairs and took my time getting to the 5th floor. From there, I took an elevator to the top floor, all the while making sure I wasn't being watched or followed. I softly tapped on the door to room 708 and entered. Cliff was in the process of setting up his portable surveillance system to ensure our safety, should anything go wrong. He placed a tiny camera on the outside of the door just beneath the peephole, and another on the ceiling near the smoke detector. This one offered a panoramic view of the room and captured audio. He placed a modified nanocom on the table and turned it on. A live feed from the cameras loaded, and Cliff walked over to each window and closed the blinds. Nick had taken a defensive position near the balcony's sliding glass doors. "Mr. Harvey, my name is Kelvin Williamz." I held up my hand, and Harvey gave it a limp shake. "Call me Ramos," he mumbled. "Thank you for coming. Please have a seat," I offered. He sat on the edge of the bed for a few seconds, then stood up and began pacing. He wore a tan suit 2 sizes too big. His hair, frazzled like a comb or brush, hadn't touched it in years. Cliff handed me the dossier he and Nick had compiled on Harvey. At 58, just over 5 feet tall, he was a chronic alcoholic, and the odor of strong liquor literally oozed from his pores. "I can't do this, Mr. Williamz. Sorry, I think I want to leave. I don't want to talk anymore. I just can't," Ramos said nervously and headed for the door. "Look, Ramos, we appreciate you coming down here, but if you don't help us, very bad people are going to get away with murder. Come on, sit down, take a breath, and relax. You can do this," I stated. "We can protect you," Nick offered. Ramos continued pacing the room, hugging himself and shivering. "We found him in a dark corner of a bar in View Cary last night," Cliff whispered to me. "We gave him enough coffee to keep a horse awake, drove around the city for a while, and let him nap at the hotel before heading down." "You sure you weren't followed?" I asked. "I'm sure we weren't. Cliff here is a master at counter-surveillance. He would know if we were followed," Nick responded. "All right, Ramos. Talk to me. What happened? With the EV-909, I mean." I tried to sound compassionate. I don't know what happened. I don't know," Ramos responded. "Come on, Ramos. Stop pacing and sit down. You're safe. No one knows you're here. You heard my team. You guys weren't followed. There's nothing for you to worry about. I promise you," I tried to reassure him again. A sudden loud knock at the door startled us all, especially Ramos, who dove into the bathroom and locked the door from the inside.